Pre-orders on the Apple Watch have begun here in Sydney, Australia. I'm Seamus Byrne for CNET, and for those of you out there who might be a little confused about how you're going to buy your Apple Watch, we're going to go through a fitting process and give you all the details on what you need to do at your local store to get your hands on the new Apple Watch. What we've seen here in Sydney today so far is no one's had to queue up to get there, or more to the point, you can't queue up. When you arrive, if there are appointments available, Apple will give you an appointment, or they will assign an appointment time to you for later on in the day and say to come back at that point. They have here in Sydney, we've seen about half a dozen fitting stations. Fittings are every 15 minutes, and they've said they've got more fitting locations on other floors of this store. So there's a lot of capacity for coming in and going through that try-on process. You're essentially being asked to make your reservation and then come in and do the fitting to decide which size, which band, and which model you want. So you need to come in and basically have that booking. You can either book online, or as I said, some people are walking up and then being assigned appointments for later on. It really does make a huge difference to try on the Apple Watch before you make your choice. It really does have a very different weight between the steel band version of the Apple Watch and the Apple Sport with the rubber band. It really feels different on the wrist, and you want to know what that's going to feel like for you to make that choice. Same with 42mm versus 38mm. In some ways I found that the 38mm actually felt nice with the steel band, which was just an interesting contrast, having mostly thought 42mm was the right size for me. So there are going to be those personal differences you will only understand by trying it on. Apple has a really slick setup here for how they're doing the try-ons. They've got the main fitting stations, which have pull-out drawers where they have the full selection of watches available, but they also have mobile setups with a clever case that is constantly charging the watches that are in that case, and it recharges itself on a MagSafe adapter. So they've really thought about how they can actually set up these demo stations easily anywhere in the store for themselves. Another thing is that the demo loop on the watch that you get to try is non-interactive, so you won't be able to try it on and expect to be able to tap and interact. It's running just a standard loop. It's also standard for right-handed wearers or people who will wear it on the left. I'm a lefty, and trying it on the right meant I couldn't technically try it on in the right direction just because of how that demo loop works, but you get the feeling. And then you can go over to the other stations where there are general hands-on options available. That is interactive. You can try out a few of the different sections. It's still on a loop, but within that loop, you can actually interact with things like the photos, the messages, things like that. I think you really do need to get into the store, and they've got a smart idea here. You will not be able to pick this up off the shelf to buy. You need to get in a reservation, have this fitting, and then you will understand which watch is going to be right for you if you want to buy yourself an Apple Watch. I'm Seamus Byrne for CNET from here in Sydney, Australia.